Hey Shooby-Doodlers, how are you doing? I'm having a go at Christmas Carol again, but if you look at the previous video, which is up here, which is of me drawing Scrooge, I told you how I had to do Christmas Carol when I was at art college. And I'm trying to think, something like that. And how I've been intimidated by it ever since. And of course, it's been done so many times, and it's been done by the greatest. But I mean, it was written by Charles Dickens, who's one of the greatest writers, isn't he? So it's intimidating. And Gabe, who's one of my patrons, sort of said, it's such a scary one to try and illustrate and things. Although that's his favourite book of all time, Christmas Carol. And Arturo last night on my Patreon channel, he said that he wanted to do something Christmassy, but it was and I think he sort of feels a little intimidated by Christmas Carol because so many people have done it, and I'm just kind of thinking here and thinking and talking, and so I thought, maybe I've always felt uncomfortable drawing that Goes to Christmas Present, who Gabe says he actually looks like, with a sort of big beard and long hair and stuff. Which is how he's described by Dickens. And I kind of thought, maybe the Ghost of Christmas Present changes all the time, surely. And I never understood why the Ghost of Christmas Present should be this sort of old guy from the woods with, holly around his head and stuff. So I thought I would do my own version and have somebody who is from the present. Let's see what happens exactly. So my idea is that the Ghost of Christmas Present will be somebody, well, basically, who has died at Christmas and has become a ghost. This is a bit creepy. It's a bit, sort of sad as well, I suppose. And Mrs. Rayner, thankfully, has now retired from being in the ER, whatever you call it, emergency room. In the emergency department, and but for the past few years, Christmas times, she's had to work at Christmas and New Year and things, and that's when young men tend to drink an awful lot. I know I did when I was a young man. I would get a little bit carried away with it, and his hair just kind of going slightly kind of whoa like that, and I think maybe his head is too big. But anyway, let's keep going. And so, young men, they kind of go maybe drink a little bbit too much, and they'd start boasting to their friends, hey, look at me, guys, look, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. And they've probably fallen in love or something, I'm going to show you how much I love you, I'm going to show you exactly how much I love you. His tie will be all kind of here. So he's all dressed up for sort of going out on Christmas party kind of thing, and he's seen some scaffolding. I'm going to climb up to the top of the scaffolding. I'll show you how clever I am. And I'm going to take a selfie of myself. And so he's climbing up the scaffolding. Look, guys, it's me, as he peers over the top. And of course, he's had far too much to drink, and I think his belt's going to be a bit wonky, isn't it? So it's going to be sort of hanging down there, and I need to make this foot a little bit bigger, I think, here. So we're going to have trousers. We say trousers. You may say pants. Right. So those would be his sort of feet, and he's got shoes. Oh, it's not terribly good. So anyway, I'll just, as I say, I'm making it up as I go along. So and he's gonna lose his balance and slip, and he's not gonna make it till Christmas morning, I'm afraid. And this is a story that happens across the world every year, and it's very, very sad. And so I don't know I never understood the Ghost of Christmas Present in the Christmas Carol, the Dickens, the way he's written it, because he's not really the Ghost of Christmas Present at all. He's just a kind of, the Green Man, who is a kind of a mythological kind of person who lives in the forest and wears green, and so he kind of looks like a bit of a green Santa, the way it's described, and so we need to have him in there like that. And so we're going to have to put him on the edge, right on the edge. The stupid boy, what are you doing? And this doesn't remind me at all of my youth, at all, and stupid things you do. Maybe there's just a kind of a brick height there, something like that. And it must be devastating to wake up on Christmas morning to find your loved one has gone and done something stupid, and he's not jumped, but he's fallen off the top of a tall building, and his friends are down here going, no! Shouting, and he's going, yes, look at me. And I think we probably need to have his girlfriend here as well, looking really, she can't believe what she's saying. Maybe she isn't actually his girlfriend yet. He wants her to be his girlfriend, and she's actually fancied him for years from across the room, and they've never spoken before, and this Christmas Eve something has brought them together. And she's thinking, oh, at last he's noticed me. And he's thinking, yes, at last she's noticed me. And he's showing off. And he shouldn't have done it. So, right, I'm going to dry this with my hairdryer. Last time I used my hairdryer on the video, I had a comment saying, hey, what is that really neat little contraption you have to dry the paper with, assuming it's some fantastic gadget you can get, and it is a Clairol hairdryer which I think I bought in 1989. It just somehow kept going. There's something loose inside. It makes a horrid sound. Sounds like there's something loose inside it. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do that snow thing again. So I might speed this bit up on the on the edit. And then I want him to be wearing one of those kind of comedy suits, and it's sort of just covered in Christmas trees. So I'm going to draw these Christmas trees in here. And again, I might speed this up and just zip through it. So actually what I do on something like this is I start on the edge and do a half version of whatever it is that I'm trying to draw, and like that, and then that's going to be going down that way. So I kind of do the ones which are going around the corner first, and then you can do these the middle ones, as it were, which will be, the full illustration, or the full design. That's probably enough there, and then we can do something similar down here. That will be in there, because if you start in the middle, it just kind of gets a bit weird, and it never kind of sort of rolls around the edge properly when you come to sort of work out the pattern. And I'm being pretty crude with this, but it's sort of just doing it very quickly. But that's the way to get it kind of evenly spaced out. Start on the outsides and work your way in. And again, I think he'll probably have a matching tie, wouldn't he? I mean, he's he thinks he's God's gift. He does. And I should have put snow here. I'm not going to do masses of cross hatching or anything like that. I'm just going to go straight to some paint. And this is I'm going to be brave and use a standard set here of the Winsor & Newton Sketchers set. So this is their very basic kind of watercolour set. So I'll see what I can do with this. And this is as you would buy it. So I'm going to use a little bit of sort of lemon and something like that. Maybe a hint of scarlet in there, just to do his face. Which would probably be in a bit of a weird glow, actually, wouldn't it? But he's going to have kind of rosy cheeks, because we're assuming it's cold. If it's snowing, I think we can assume that it's reasonably cold. And then we can do his hands as well. A little bit of sort of pinkiness in there, like that. And I'm going to give him some kind of bluiness in his hair, like that. And my patrons will know that I like a particular colour called neutral tint, which I haven't got in this set. So I'm getting French ultramarine and burnt sienna here, and mixing the two together until I get a kind of a grey, and then I'm going to kind of add that in there like that. And I probably want a stronger version of that, so I'll add more burnt sienna, a bit more French ultramarine. That's a bit too brown. A bit more French ultramarine, and then we're gonna. That'll be his sort of shoes there, which I haven't drawn very well because I was talking and not concentrating properly. And we'll just add a bit of sort of blue in there, just to add kind of give it some shape. That's still a bit darker there, isn't it? So I'll just drop a bit more in there, and we'll come back to that in a moment. I think his shirt will be a bit kind of like that. So I'm not going to do this as a night scene, I don't think. So let's assume they've been out for a good lunch. Shall I zoom in a bit? I think I probably can, yeah. Let's assume they've been out for a good Christmas lunch. They finished work early. And yeah, so maybe he's fancied Miss What's Her Name from across the across the office for years, and this is the first time he's actually really got to talk to her. And of course she's been fancying him from across the other side of the office for years. And so finally they've sort of got to talk to each other and say hello, and he's just being stupid. And this is how he works his way into being in the story of A Christmas Carol, by being the ghost of Christmas Present, because he's newly minted, as it were, as a ghost. And he's the latest. And maybe he kind of plays the role for this Christmas, and that's his kind of role. And then next Christmas, sadly, someone else will take over, and he can move on. It's kind of a modern version of purgatory, isn't it, really, I suppose? Well, Christmas purgatory is probably not as bad as some versions of purgatory. But I suppose, I kind of feel he kind of felt like something was just beginning, so maybe he's going to be full of regret. But then again, maybe he's in that, maybe it's like Groundhog Day, and he's sort of constantly thinking, yeah, this is a great moment. It's just about to start. And it's a kind of a perpetual, that is his perpetual Christmas gift, that he's in a perpetual moment of just about to start something fantastic, which is always the best moment, isn't it? I mean, it's just going to happen once you've actually gotten into the project or whatever it is. Then then you got to get on with the job and things. But that moment of anticipation, I'm just about to go, ready, steady, go, let's go. So we'll have, yeah, that'll be this will be a bit sort of bluey grey, concrete kind of slab across the top, like that. And so she's going to be down here, absolutely horrified. His mate is horrified. Well, actually, it could be his boss. It could be the office party, but of course they've all been banned now, haven't they? Just about. So, you might be watching this in in the year 3042 or something like that. So I better explain that while I'm doing this, it's the we're in the year 2021 COVID thing going on. He's hasn't done his hands very well there at all, have I? So yeah, and we're at the back end of the year, going into the Christmas with the COVID Omicron variation, and so lots of people are being told, don't go to Christmas parties, don't do that kind of thing, and so in a way, this isn't this isn't a typical kind of thing seen. So I'm going to assume they're walking across. There's a kind of a park or a bit of grass across there, because I'm not going to do anything terribly detailed, and I should have him there, so we need a bit of kind of red and stuff going on down there, and we want a bit of his face in there, with again a little kind of dab for his cheeks, and we'll have his hair on the top there, and then we'll have something darker up there behind, and then we want something really quite dark, so I'm going to see if I can mix up something here. I'll get a bit of burnt dark umber in there with a bit of blue. So I'm trying to make something dark, but I don't want black. Black doesn't work with watercolour. That just punches a hole in the paper and it just doesn't look good. We're kind of getting there, so let's have a bit more of a... Let's have a... what am I looking for? Shadow kind of along there. Oop. Kind of feel we should have some kind of shadow going on there, and that could all be shaded there a bit. And we can a bit more French ultramarine into that, and we can probably kind of, he's got that kind of flicked up kind of hairstyle. It kind of dates him, doesn't it? Dates him to the 90s really. He hasn't been out since, so yeah. So this is his big day out really for and it was going so well, so I'm just putting little bits of shadow in here. I would normally use neutral tint here to put this shadow in. And what's nice is the green in the from the coloured pencil is sort of staying green and sort of acting as a resist. I think he's going to have green socks underneath there as well, like that. Underneath there, and then we're going to want a kind of a gloomy, portentous sky. So I'm going French ultramarine and mixing that with burnt umber, and I made a bit of that there, and I'm just going to kind of swirl that around up at the top. And this is a water pen I've got here, so the water is in the handle, and if I want it to be a bit thinner, I just squeeze the handle and sort of flow some water out. I'm going to put some blue in there as well. And I want him to have that kind of... You get this kind of weird ethereal light sometimes when it's about to snow, and the things that are in the sort of foreground, sort of close focus, kind of really kind of stand out crisply against the against that kind of snowy, cloudy background. And you can see I put the white resist in there with the China marker, and so we're getting some early flurries of snow, let's call it. And by the time the ambulance get here, of course, it will be chucking it down, making it difficult. Well, I was going to say difficult to get him down, but of course he'll have already come down the quick way. This is a sad, sad story, isn't it? Which, as I say, happens sadly too often. So I'll just put a little bit more red in there just to strengthen it up. I think you just need a little bit of something going on, a bit more kind of shadow down there, a bit more with that, and maybe underneath there too. And that'll probably be, yeah, that's a bit better. And there you go. The Ghost of Christmas Present 2021. Maybe I should do a different one each year. What do you think about that? There we go. Old again. So you keep seeing little things. It's always in the shadows and things like that you want to add. There you go. There you go. Stay safe, and if you celebrate Christmas, have a very happy one. Otherwise, have a very happy holiday season. Thanks for watching, and make sure you are subscribed.
Sorry, I didn't find a group or device named Lights.
Thank you, Alexa. Thanks for watching, and make sure you are subscribed to the Huion Drawing channel. And in the meantime, keep drawing, drawing, drawing. Practice, practice, practice. And I'll see you next time. You take care now. Bye-bye.